Hello, I'm Mike Worth and this demonstration is how to cut a bridle joint. The tools you're going to need for this joint are a mallet, a square, tri-square over there, we've got a couple of chisels. You're going to need a coping saw, you're going to need possibly a mortise chisel, possibly a smaller 6mm chisel in this case. Definitely going to need your mortise gauge or combination gauge and a tenon saw. Don't forget the 2H pencil. We don't want pens, we don't want biros, we want a 2H pencil. Okay, that's what you're going to need. First thing we do is we're going to select our face edge and face side of our timber. Quite like these two sides, there's no damage to them. So, put on our face side mark and our face edge mark. Looks like that. And we're going to do the same on this one. We'll select a couple of good sides. There's a nice side there. Oops, missed it. Up, right there like that. And there's our face edge and face side marks. What should happen when this joint is finished, those marks should be that way around, like that. So they both face up and the sides face inwards. We always mark from those two sides. The stock of our gauge is always on the face sides, and the stock of our square is always either on the face side or face edge. We can mark all the way around the wood just using those two sides. We must never ever go around like that. Okay, so this is our bridle joint, and really a bridle joint is a mortise and tenon without the one end. So it's formed on the end of a piece of timber like that, so really we're just cutting the mortise and tenon. First thing we do, we're going to mark on the actual length of it. We're going to stick a piece of wood on there like that. I put a mark just to the back of the wood, so we have a little mark there. And where the other part of the joint's going to go, we're going to do the same. Put a line on there, like so. So we do, now we're going to square it round. Grab your square and you can see that the stock is going to go against the face edge. Put our pencil on and move up to the line. We can come up to here and the stock is on the face side. Whoops, just gone past the line on there. Now we're going to come back that way and our stock is going to go onto the face side. Like so, and then onto the face edge. We end up with a line going all the way around. Properly. If it doesn't do it, there's something wrong with the wood or there's something wrong with your square. Right, we'll do the other one now. We're still on the face edge. So the stock's on the face edge, we've got to come up to our line. And we've got to go the other way now, across the top. Face side, the stock is on. We don't do this, we never do that. We're going to come back this way now. We're coming back to the face side with our stock. Up to the line, and finally we're going to go. And once again, we're pretty good. Alright, just making sure we've got everything the right way around. The joint's going to go together like that. Okay. This side over here, that's going to have what would be the equivalent to the mortise in it, and this is going to have what would be equivalent to the tenon in it. So, first things we do is we get our mortise gauge or combination gauge, and we're going to be using a 10mm chisel because, as with the mortise and tenon, we always go for a third, a third, and a third. This wood is this timber is 30mm thick, therefore we need a 10mm chisel. 10mm. We've set the chisel up so that it just goes between the tips of the points on our gauge. Okay, just between the tips of our points. It should just be sitting in there like that. Now we may need to adjust it a tiny bit, but we'll see. We've got our gauge, and we just need to find the middle now. So all we need to do is pop that against there, against the face side. We'll put a line, put a couple of points on, just make a mark, come back the other way, come back this way, and it is out ever so slightly. It's not actually quite accurate enough. So what we're going to do is actually just spread that a little bit to there. And we do it again. So this time we'll check it, and if it's out again, we'll a little bit the other way now. So tap it up. We want it to be as accurate as possible. It's better to spend a bit of time doing it this way, and making sure that we're right, than to spend an awful lot of time putting it right later on. Let's check again. to there. Still not quite right. Yeah, that's better. Right. So now we've found the centre, all we need to do is gauge around the ends. When you start, you might find it difficult to actually just put your timber on the bench and gauge around it. So what I suggest that you do, just pop it in the vise. When you've been doing it a while, you're probably not going to worry about this at all. And I just come up to the line and go across there like that. Now, what you will find is you can go gauge down from this way as well. It doesn't really matter, but what you don't want to do is gauge past your lines. You can actually hold your gauge quite tightly that way. You go down the other way, across the top. Then we can swing around this way and we'll just gauge down the back again. I mean, you can make sure you don't go past your lines by putting a little dip in the bottom on your line with your gauge. You can actually then go straight into that little spot and make sure you don't go by. Okay, we're going to do the same again with this one. This time we'll do it the traditional way. Again, up against the face side, we're going to just gauge to the end, like so. We'll gauge to the end, like that. We're then going to gauge down the actual end of the timber, press the end grain, like that. And then I'm going to gauge down this side. But I'm going to put a couple of points in to start with, because that will save us running by. Like so, that's where we're at. So we've got our lines in. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to put a couple of pencil marks around it, because it's actually easier to see where we need to saw to do that. And we're going to come down here. Now this is one of them joints that looks easy, but actually ain't very easy. So if you don't do it right first time, don't worry about it, because you're going to need probably a few practices. Come down to there. I'm going to come across the, oops, I'm just going to come across the top. Might turn around the other way, go with the grain. Go across there, we're going to go across there like that, just down there. Right, we have now got our marking done. That's all the marking out there is to this. So we want it that way round, because that was the way we said we were going to do it. So in this one, that's the waist. So we're going to cut that out of this one. We're going to cut the middle out, and that's probably the hardest part. There's a bit we're going to do first. Then this one, that's the waist, and that's the waist. So that's going to slide into that. That's all we've got to do. Right, now to cut this out of here, previously when we cut it out with the mortise chisel. But that isn't going to work on this. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to use the tenon saw, and we use the coping saw and some chisels and bits and bobs. Okay, so let's pop that in there. And I'm going to cut these fairly full on the line. Yeah, I'm not going to try and leave half the line in this time. I'm going to try and cut it full on the line. I can guarantee it, but doing that is probably going to be fairly close. So I'm just going to literally cut fairly full. So across the top, now I'm going to down the sides. There's the bottom of the line. Right, I'm going to go across the top again, and the other way. Taking out most of the line, just leave the tiniest bit in. I'm not trying to saw down the side of the timber that I can't see. I'm only ever going to be sawing out the material that I can see. I'm sawing to the lines I can see. We'll come down the other side now. There, and we'll come back down this side. Go slightly off there, and we'll try and tidy that up a bit. Just want to come this way ever so slightly. Now you can just readjust things ever so slightly if you try hard. There we are. We'll go down to the bottom line, and we'll finish there. Turn it over. Turn it upright, I mean. We're going to come down there. Now we're just going to cut straight down. And we're going to cut straight down this way. Like so. Now, the final thing is we've got to cut the bit out the middle. For that, we're going to use a coping saw. And we're going to take our saw down to the bottom, and we're just going to cut across the middle. Try and be careful. What you don't want to do is saw too high. You certainly don't want to saw too low. So we've cut that bit out now. And finally, what I'm going to do, and I think that's just ever so marginally too big, so we're not going to use that one. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to chisel down to the line, just cleaning things out. I'm using a slightly smaller chisel because it's just slightly easier to get in. So I'm using a 6mm chisel for this. Taking the bottom out. And I'm coming down to the line. Again, you want nice sharp chisels. Don't think to yourself, oh, I can get away with having a blunt old chisel for this. It ain't going to happen. You're just going to make a right mess. So, if you want to make a good job, then you need your chisel sharp. We'll turn that round and come back the other way. I'm just going to use a mallet because it's slightly higher here and I don't want to bash my hands anymore. And there. Just coming down to the line. Just knock off the bits in the middle. So. Just clearing out the shoulder line at the bottom. What we want to do is make sure that we don't have a lump in the middle. What we want to do is make sure that here we've got no lump. We don't want a lump. If anything, what we want it to be is slightly hollow. So it could actually just come down slightly in the middle here. We want, when the joint goes together, we want it to touch there and touch there. So if it's slightly hollow in the middle, that's a good thing. I don't mean a lot, I mean slightly hollow. Now, I can just see a couple of places where I really just want to clean this up ever so slightly, just clean up the saw cuts, just making it look a little bit neater. What we don't want this joint to be is too tight. We want it to stay together properly, but we don't want it too tight. And what tends to happen when they're too tight, we spread the joint at the top, spread the wood at the top, and it pushes the wood apart. We don't want that. It stresses the material. Okay, just going to take the bottom out. Take the bottom out of there. Put it round. Come back the other way. If you can't see the line, don't try and cut it. Come back the other way, turn it round. Now it's coming onto my pencil, I'm just making sure I can just tidy up a tiny bit. We want it to look fairly clean and tidy. Again, I've got a little bit at the top here. I'll just take that out. Okay. Clear the bottom out and we should be ready to cut the other half of the joint now. We always cut this bit first. So a tiny bit of line there, maybe just have a tiny bit off that. So you're going to have to judge this. It's never going to be, absolutely spot on. You've got to judge it a tiny bit. Right, just making sure we put some rubbish stuff in the bottom. We should end up with something. Oops, let's just make sure that's clean tidy. A little bit there was tidying up. Okay, it should end up with something that looks a bit like that. Okay, right. Now the next bit. We're going to take out that side and that side. We want to keep the bit in the middle. So this time, I'm carefully going to saw down this side of the line. Again, I'm going to, this time, instead of being dead full, this time I'm going to try and leave it about half the line, because I'd like the tenon to be ever so slightly smaller than the actual slot that's going to be. might have to chisel a little bit off to make it fit really nicely, because we really do not want it to get too tight. And to the line, turn it over, come back that way. Right. There. Sword down to the line. Now we're simply going to cut the cheeks off. Now again, if we want to try and avoid any spelching, get your chisel, pop it on that line. You could always use it's probably easier, better to use a marking knife really, and traditionally that's what we would have done. Anyway, I've marked across there with the chisel. That's going to reduce the spelching, we hope. And we're just going to cut across that line, trying to avoid any breakout. Once we're across, let's concentrate on trying to saw nice and square. Off it goes. Now what we're going to do is just have a little look and see whether I can come just to the centre, just past the centre of my gauge lines. But that will mean that our tenon should fit nicer. The tenon part. I'm just going to clean the shoulder up, going downwards. Put yourself over the tool if you can. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Just going to turn that line down and back the other way. Right, I'm just going to chisel down there onto the line. I'm just going to try to have it ever so slightly smaller than that slot. We just need the tiniest bit of clearance, so it splits together really nicely. Right, that's that bit. End up with something like that. We're then going to cut the other side. And again, what I am going to do is just score the line. And even though we're just scoring the line, try and use that face side and face edge marks, because you don't want to change it now. Score the line. And back there. Here we go. Use your thumb to help start the saw. I always start far end of the wood. Other people start nearest one, it doesn't matter. So gently across there. Now concentrating on sawing down to line. Okay, that's going to have it off. Just going to tighten this up. I don't want it to slip. Use my chisel and just take up the shoulders, clean them all up nice and tidy. Nice crisp shoulders. So, now I'm going to just concentrate again on making sure that I'm down to those gauge lines. We don't want it, as I said earlier on, we really don't want it too tight. Careful when you're doing your pairing. You want this to be tidy. Again, I'm not going through, I'm going to come back the other way. Any little furry bits, get back in there and cut them off. So, we're not levering against that shoulder. Try and avoid that. That will just give you a dent. Hopefully I haven't cut too much, and hopefully it's not too tight. We'll see in a minute. Time draweth nigh, as they say. We'll just take a little bit more off there. That's looking good. Down to that shoulder line, just down to that gauge line. And once we've done that bit, we'll have a little look, see what it looks like. See if we can put it together. Well, there's our joint. There's that bit, there's that bit. And there. Better turn it over the right way. It'd be quite nice if we did that, wouldn't it? And there is our joint.